was working on creating a template that I can reuse over and over again for this hardcover matte journal by District Photo, and I thought, this might be a good tutorial because I don't really see anything quite like it out there on YouTube yet, and I also couldn't find a template on Etsy, and they are tricky, these book templates. You can't center anything because whether you're in Canva or Photoshop or Photopea, it doesn't know that center is the center of this box, not the center of the entire document. That would put you on the spine. So you have to use these markers and keep track of your measurements, which I had already started doing before I started recording, but I'm going to show you how I did that. So to get these markers, you just pull from the side. You click with your left mouse right here over this ruler area, and you can do the same thing from above and drag down. And to get rid of it, you just push it back up. So this is the template from Printify, and what I did was I dragged over these markers, and now I am zooming in by pressing Alt and scrolling in with my mouse roller. Now you have to get in really closely, zoom as far in as you can, because if you can see, this wasn't really directly lined up over the spine marks. This one is pretty good, but this one needs to come right here. And it says that the x coordinate is at 6.502. And then this one should probably come over just like that to 7.05. I'll do that. And then now we're going to zoom out. And the next thing I want to do is put markers over the dotted lines. This template info that also comes with the download tells you the dotted lines are the safe area. So if you are doing any important text or an image that cannot be cropped off, it won't look right, it's not just a pattern, you need the full image, then it has to go in this printed area right here, in this dotted area. So we're going to take another ruler and drop it on this one, and then another ruler and drop it on this one. And then once again, we're going to zoom really far in because we want this to be right in the middle. Like that looks good. 7.730. 12.5. Let's make sure we feel good. That looks pretty much in the middle to me. So here is my note. Again, I don't really care too much about these decimals at the end. I probably won't calculate with them. Okay, I went ahead and did the same thing on this box. Then I scrolled in to see where these measurements were. So my first safe box, which is this one over here, the back cover, the left one is at 0.98, the right was at 5.8. Then I took my calculator and subtracted those, and the difference was 4.82. So difference is 4.82. Then I wanted to make sure, since these should be even, that they're about the same. So 12.56 minus 7.73 gives us 4.83. And that's how we know that we marked these correctly, because they do look like they should be even. So 4.82 or 4.83, again, I'm not super concerned. That is the amount of space in here. Now, we're not done yet. In order to know what the center of one of those boxes is, we now need to take the difference of the 4.83 and divide that by 2. If this whole thing is the 4.83, then the half point of it, which would be around here, would be 2.41. But it's 2.41 over from this line, not from 0. Now, thankfully, we have a note of what that measurement was. This is our first safe box, and it's the left side at 0.98. So now I need to take 2.41 and add that to 0.98, which gives me 3.39. So now I need another marker, and I'm going to zoom in closer, and I'm going to just drag this guy over to 3.39. We can come into Edit preferences and change the guides to red if that helps. I think that actually does help. There we go. We can clearly see where exactly the halfway point should be. And that's going to make it far more likely that your journal prints correctly. So now we need to do the same thing to this side right here. 7.73 plus 2.41 gives me 10.14. All right, so we're going to come back here. 10.14. Going to zoom in. 0.14. That's good. Again, that extra little thousandth decimal point won't, oh, we got it. Perfect. Won't make a difference anyway, but there you have it. So now we know exactly where center is. So we can also add a layer here, and I will just make it white. And we can just dump some paint over it. So the other thing you can do is lower the opacity to like 80. So when you're designing, you can still see your guides because like you want to know where this dotted safe area is and keep everything in there. So let's go ahead and just do some kind of basic journal design. Just going to say Lindsay's notes so I can actually use this notebook myself. And then on the back, I'm going to put this cute little quote. It's just Frank Sinatra. And what I wanted to show you is you see how because we have that red margin, or not margin, that red line right there, our marker line, when I put my text on top of it, you can see, boom. See how it turns red? It gives you that extra indicator that you are perfectly centered with it. It says muted light colors in mockups may appear differently when printed. We recommend ordering a sample. So a good thing to do if you are going to order a sample is just to create a bunch of little squares. I know this looks pretty crazy. This wound up being my journal because I wanted to test all these colors out. I also wanted to know what happens if you go outside the save zone. So this white area, if I go outside the white area, I wanted to know what exactly happens here. That's on the front of the journal. The purple is only on the inside of the journal. I really thought that some of that would bleed onto the front because it looks so thick here, but it doesn't. This is just the inside of the journal. I also made sure to put some text right up against the safe area because I wanted to know if that would, let me unhide these. I wanted to know if this would get cut off or not, and it did not. So I will say the safe area is marked very well, and that is what I had printed. All right, we are in my basement where the lighting is a little bit brighter, and I've got my thumb inside the cover of the book so you can really see where that spine crease is. And hopefully you can see now that it is truly centered. Again, it might be a little bit of an illusion with that lavender strip on the right side, but it really is centered. And then let me show you the back. So you might want to screenshot this if you're interested in seeing how the different colors turned out, but realistically, you should probably order your own. Oh, and also, I put a quote on the side. You can see, hopefully, that is perfectly centered.